it's Andy with the Rag Company, and welcome to Wash Wednesday. In today's video, we have Tyler here, and what kind of car do we have?
Today we have a 2015 Mustang GT.
This is actually the first Mustang we've seen on bags here on Wash Wednesday, which is pretty sweet. So we're gonna be doing a wash today. We're gonna be doing a rinseless wash. Now, I have a question for you. How do you normally wash this thing?
Usually just in the driveway, hose in a bucket.
Hose in a bucket,
get
cool.
some good soap and wash it down.
Let it rip.
Dry it off.
You all right? Yeah, I like it. Simple guy. So my question was is that you said this was ceramic coating, or ceramic coated, I should say. So it's been ceramic coated. Have you noticed it's easier to wash since you had it coated?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's cleans off a lot easier than it used to.
Yeah, right on. And it looks good, man. The car looks awesome. And I think you're doing a good job of taking care of it. I'm pretty sure you were taught how to wash the car, right, in order to maintain your ceramic coating. So the idea of today's wash is to show you a different wash method. So we're gonna be using an O&R wash with the ultra black sponge. This sounds probably new to you. You probably haven't heard of this, but we're gonna kind of guide you through it, right? It's gonna be pretty simple. We have some IK multi-sprayers we're gonna be doing a pre-spray with, grabbing the ultra black sponges, wringing them out, and going panel by panel to wash this thing down. And then lastly, as the cherry on top, we are going to be using Bead Maker as a drying aid with a liquidator drying towel. We're gonna be able to play some new toys too that I think you'll like, and I think that you guys are gonna like too on camera. So with that said, we have to get started. So I'm gonna hand you a sprayer here, and you're gonna pump that thing up, and we're gonna get to spraying. Cool. All right, Tyler, so we have the IK multi-sprayer. It's pretty simple. We just like washing a car, at home with a hose and water, right? So you want to rinse from top to bottom, and all the contamination from the top you want it to run off to the bottom. So what we're doing is we're pre-spraying with Optimum No Rinse, which have you ever heard of No Rinse? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're just pre-spraying it, allowing the product to do the work for us. So this is gonna start encapsulating the dirt and yada, yada, yada. Everybody that probably watches these videos knows the routine by now, but this is basically just an advanced product, right? Think of it as like a soap, a very highly advanced soap that you don't need to rinse off. And so start pumping up there, and you're gonna rinse on that side, and I'm gonna rinse on this side, and we're just gonna go through the whole car. And don't worry about getting the floor wet, because Gabe's gonna be cleaning it up anyway, right? Right, Gabe? Okay, he said no. I guess I'm cleaning it. Now, what's also nice too is because doing this in a studio, we have a controlled environment. So typically when I'm doing this at home, this wash method, I'll only usually tackle a side of the car at a time, because I'm not totally worried about the product drying on the surface, but I feel like I could be more efficient knocking out a smaller area at a time. But since we have two people, it makes things easy. All right, so I guess while we're sitting here spraying, I do want to know more about this car. How long have you had it for?
Had it for almost 3 years.
Okay, commitment, I like that. Good man, right? And so what did you have before this?
I've had a couple of BMWs. Honestly, I traded in a Ford Focus for this.
Okay, all right.
So big upgrade.
Yeah, a base model Focus?
Just a base model Focus. Okay. It wasn't anything special at all.
Big upgrade, all right,
oh, yeah.
All right. So, and I'm guessing you've been loving this. So what, I guess my question is, it's on bags. I'm sure there's other stuff done to it. What made you want to bag the Mustang? Was it a matter of just kind of looks? Were you going for a particular style?
Yeah, I would say a big part of it was looks, but also having the ability to raise it up and lower it on the fly.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot more usable.
Gotcha, okay.
Being able to put it on lifts and go through drive-thrus.
Yeah, and you're a photographer, right? So you like taking photos. So as everybody knows, a low car makes all the difference in photos, right?
Oh, yeah.
It makes it look 10 times more aggressive when you can air that out. So what else is done to it besides the bags? So I know that was a recent install.
Yeah, the bags was done just this last Saturday. Most everything else has been cosmetic.
Okay.
So the engine's pretty much stock at the moment. It's got an exhaust and a tune and an intake on it.
Okay.
It's got a custom Cervini's hood on it.
It is a really cool hood. I really like that.
And the front lip is also Cervini's. We got a rear wing from MMD.
Okay. Thing's got a pretty big kick up, man. That's like that's pretty aggressive for sure. How is that thing on there?
It's bolted on.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
if that thing was 3M'd, man, I wouldn't want to be pressing too hard on
Yeah,
it.
not just 3M, it's actually on there pretty good, so no problems getting that going. Obviously wheels and tires, rear diffuser.
Cool, cool.
Just put a carbon fiber steering wheel in it.
Those aren't cheap either, right?
Yeah,
but
it wasn't as bad as you think, but it's
okay,
it's
all
not,
right.
It's not, you know, chump change.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, man. Because you can see it from that front window, and peeking in, it looks super, super aggressive. I really like it. All right, so for everybody watching, you're probably like, this car isn't even dirty. You're right, it's actually not dirty at all. I'd probably say lightly dusty, if anything, but this car was actually part of a car show that we did another wash on just a couple weeks prior, and so he had got it all cleaned up for that car show, so it still remained pretty clean, and obviously we talked about it, that it was ceramic coated, so that means it's gonna stay even cleaner for longer. So we're still gonna wash it, still gonna clean it, but I think that this wash method today with the Ultra Black Sponge and O&R is gonna be a walk in the park. I think it's gonna be super cake, super easy, and then topping it with Bead Maker, it's gonna look pretty good. So let's grab some sponges. All right, so Tyler, in here is 2 Ultra Black sponges. So these guys right here are a new product, right, to the Rag Company lineup. They're an exclusive Rag Company product, but prior to this, there was a version called the Big Red Sponge made by Optimum, and it was a really, really popular sponge for this type of wash. This was kind of the new and improved version. It's basically a softer foam, it's denser, but also can work with both soap and water and rinseless washes, which makes it super unique. But you can tell that the cuts inside there are what help lift contamination, but also this product allows it to release safely. And so some people, when they see sponges, they're like, is that not what I'm supposed to be using? Because our sponge is supposed to be in the past, right? We're supposed to be using microfiber wash mitts, and coming from a microfiber company, such as us, I'm telling you right now that you can still use sponges, especially when they're this nice. And so there's a few sponges out on the market that I know are extremely safe, this being one of them. So how this works is you are going to dunk it in the liquid. You're going to squeeze it out where it's on the verge of dripping, and you'll kind of see it there. So when you press, you'll see liquid kind of being released. And the best way to describe it is like this, right? So wherever I'm pressing, those are my pressure points. That is guiding me along the entire car, releasing product, cleaning at the same time, and doing it safely. So what I'll do, grab a little bit of O&R. I'm just gonna show you a quick demonstration. Come over to here, wipe in one direction, wipe back, wipe back, wipe back. And then I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it. A lot of that product is gonna start seeping through, going to the bottom of that sponge area there. I can start to feel it. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So advanced. Sponge technology. And then coming through here, I'm going to start trimming out the windows. And what's awesome about the Ultra Black Sponge is the more you use it, the softer it gets, the more they can contour to panels. It's easier to use. Straight out of the bag, I tell people that you can use it. There's no reason to season it or kind of get it started like the old sponge that we had previously. But I do notice that after a couple washes, it becomes so much more of a joy to use than it is brand new. So going through, cleaning that up. There we go. So that's the entire process right there. What I'll do is I'll dunk the sponge back in, let it soak. And what's nice is because O&R is so advanced, it releases the contamination, releases the dirt that we're basically putting in there each time. And we have a grit guard at the bottom. Do you know what a grit guard is? Mm-hmm. Perfect. So that is an important factor in this entire process, because without that grit guard, a lot of that grit can swirl back up into the wash media. So squeezing that out again, getting it to where it's, okay, it feels kind of weird if I'm slapping this thing around a little bit, a little love tap, right? Just let you know that it's there, and come back through. But see how fast you can be with this method. I mean, it's really efficient, it's really fast, and it's safe. And that's the biggest thing I try to let people know and educate on, is that this is a safe method. This isn't dangerous by any means. This isn't gonna scratch anything. We haven't scratched a car yet. We've washed probably well over 50 cars just here in the studio with the Ultra Black Sponge. So, all right, time for you to give it a try. Grab one of those sponges, kind of wring it out a little bit, and start going through. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Get a little love tap, right? All right. Who's your daddy? Can we say that? No? But because you have that coating on here, you can notice how smooth it is, right? Mm-hmm. It's extremely smooth. It's not feeling abrasive or anything like that. So I'm gonna go through, same thing. Knock out your roof, and then when you get to a good point where you're like, okay, I think I've worked this side pretty long, flip it over, let the product settle, and start going back through. And you can kind of feel how it contours, right? You can see how it gets through those grooves. Check that out. Check that out. That's a shot you're missing there, Dane. How are we supposed to sell product if you're not getting the shots that are important? Jeez.
Can you do that again?
Amateurs. He's a photographer. He knows what he's like, this is the shot they want. I already know it. I did want to ask you, do you have any plans for this thing? What's next on it? Because I know the bags are not a cheap investment, so I didn't know if you were wanting to go straight into other things soon, or if you're pretty happy with how it's sitting now.
For the outside of the car, I think it's funny to say, but you know, like it's probably just about done.
Okay.
You know, nothing's ever done, but I think I've got the exterior pretty much where I want it.
Yeah.
At some point, I'd like to do some new wheels. The ones that are on it look great. I love the style, but they're a little rough if you look closely.
Okay.
Possibly some new wheels in the future. Possibly some interior work, get some more
Gotcha.
carbon fiber in the car. Depending on if I keep the car forever, probably do a supercharger or twin turbo kit on it.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Nothing's confirmed there, but that'd be cool to do at some point. About 435 is what they come out with stock. With the exhaust intake and tune, we're probably around 450-ish.
Okay, so yeah, no, that's no slouch, man. I mean, that's some good power. And how do you feel that this car, how do you feel like it lays it down? Do you feel like you got pretty good traction? Do you think it's kind of, it gets a little crazy, gets a little wild, or what?
Yeah, you can get a little squirrely, you know, if you step on it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not that bad. It puts it down pretty good. We got some good meat on the back, and
yeah. So it's not your typical crowd killer feel, right? It feels a little bit more substantial than that. It feels a little bit nicer.
Yeah, we get all the crowd killer jokes, but with the new suspension on these, with the independent rear end and everything, it's a little bit easier to keep it in control. Yeah,
this is cleaning up really good, man. And wait till you see when we dry this thing with Bead Maker. I think you're gonna fall in love all over again. It's surprisingly dirty. Gray just hides things really well. But you can see how much dirt's releasing off that sponge, right?
Mm-hmm. Water's getting a little murky.
Yep, but trust me, it could be much worse than this, and I've washed way dirtier cars than this with one bucket, and we're totally fine. We're in the clear. I would tell you if I would say, hey man, this is getting a little dicey, we're probably gonna wanna change this. And the hood's done, right?
I believe so.
Okay. If you get these extensions here, those are cleaned up, and I think all that's left is the front windshield.
Yeah, and I haven't touched the wheels either. But...
Okay, we're gonna save the wheels for very, very last. I need to say that over and over again, because people are always like, what about the wheels?
Yeah.
They're gonna get done. Don't worry, people. I think we're good. I think we've gotten everything we need to get on the paint and the glass. So now it's for the fun part, it's the drying part. All right, Tyler, so we got the car washed down with the Ultra Black Sponge and O&R, so now it's time for my favorite part. I've been looking forward to this all day long, mainly for the fact that I just love using Bead Maker. So, Tyler, you haven't used Bead Maker before, so this is gonna be like a coming to Jesus moment. Can I say that? Is that something I can say? We're gonna go with it. So basically, you're gonna love this. You're gonna find a new religion called Bead Maker. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be fantastic, and you're gonna live happily ever after. So I have two bottles here. One is gonna be the original Bead Maker in orange, and then we have the blue Bead Maker. That's a TRC exclusive. What do you want?
Might as well do the blue one.
All right, cool. So these right here, people are probably gonna be wondering, because they're like, what are those, right? These are the new IK multi-trigger sprayers. So this is a super cool addition to the IK lineup. So everybody knows there's the multi-sprayers that we were using previously, there's the foamers. This is a trigger sprayer, meaning that you use a trigger and you pump a trigger like a traditional sprayer. But what's cool about it is the spray pattern. This produces one of my favorite spray patterns I've ever seen. And for reference here, well, let me go ahead and adjust it. See that mist? Do you see that? Amazing. It's like a dragon. It's like something billowing out of a cave of some sort. Am I right? Is that better? Slower? You want it slower, faster? Okay. So pretty cool, man. So that's the idea. So we're actually gonna be going over the entire car in Bead Maker. I'm talking, we're gonna do a heavy application. So we're gonna be covering the whole car, then drying it with these drying towels here. So take one of these, throw it over your shoulder for right now, and we're gonna split the car in half. And you knock out that side, I knock out this side, and leave no area untouched or unsprayed. Is that satisfying?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better than most sprayers.
Look at that. It's amazing. I'm gonna back it up a little bit even more. It's like a, oh my gosh. Like I said, it's like a dragon coming out of a cave. You can also adjust it if you want to do just traditional sprays. You don't have to have it like that. Like this is gonna be more of a traditional spray that I'm doing here. And it's whatever floats your boat. I think we got this thing pretty well covered.
Yeah, I think
I'm like, this is pretty much soaked in Bead Maker right now.
So many beads.
Dude, that stuff smells so good. I'm sitting here like just, yeah. I did, I told him, I explained it. That scent is from the house of, can I call it the house of TRC? The house of Anthony? The house of my nose?
You look like you're wearing a cape right now, so sure.
Anyway, yeah, I came up with that scent, which I'm pretty proud of. I really like it. I find it very. Did I have any help? The people that I surveyed helped. Are you wanting credit, Gabe? Because you didn't do anything to help with the scent. You pulled the corn? It's snowing. This is wearing a ton of Bead Maker. There is just an absolute ton. Fantastic. So we're gonna use these drying towels to the best of our abilities. Fold it, scrunch it, however you like to do it. And we're just gonna start drying this thing down. So this is a twist loop 70-30 blend. It's a pretty big towel. Call it the liquidator because it just does a pretty killer job. You'll find that the Bead Maker, when wiping it, right, you'll see it kind of, it almost smears, but that's it flashing off. So just give it a little bit. That should dissipate into the rest of the paint work, and it'll leave behind a very, very, you feel the slickness already?
Oh yeah.
So it kind of starts coming into play there, and it feels very good. So what do you typically, when you're drying the car, do you use a drying aid like we're doing today, or do you kind of just dry it and then spray something over the top?
I usually use a chamois.
Oh gosh, okay.
Is that not a good thing?
No, it's not. Okay, but continue.
But
we can fix these things later.
Yeah, typically I just dry it, and if it needs it, go over with some detail spray. Sometimes I'll just let it sit and really dry off, and then come back and do a detail spray after that.
Yeah. And then you're just using just like kind of just a microfiber towel, right? And coming back through.
Yep.
Gotcha. What do you think?
Pretty shiny.
Pretty shiny? Shinier than your typical wash at home?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we actually had to pay him to say that, but perfect. Okay, so we're gonna set these towels aside. I'll take that from you. And I think next on the plan, guys, is we need to get this thing up on the lift, clean some wheels. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Let's get this thing lifted. All right, guys, so we got the car up in the air. Tyler, what do you think of this lift? Pretty nice.
Oh, it's way nice.
Wish everybody had one of these in their garage, right? And make things pretty much a hell of a lot easier. So we have it here at easy cleaning height. We have our trash cans underneath here, right? And some people are like, what are those? They're trash cans. We're literally just using trash cans as like a catch can to catch all of the residual crap that comes off of this. So nothing fancy, but you know, hey, you saw it here at the Rag Company YouTube channel first. So we're gonna grab our IK Multi sprayer with ONR still in here, right? So the idea is we're gonna do a pre-spray, get this all cleaned off. So Tyler, treat this like you would with a hose, right? We're doing this in a more concentrated area. Don't worry about if any products get here because we can come back and clean that up. But I wanna get the barrels, I wanna get all around the tire and get that pretty well soaked. From there, we're gonna take the IK multi-TR sprayer that I was telling you about earlier with brake busters. So this is a really cool sprayer that can be used with all sorts of chemicals, right? Whether they're harsh or whether they're safe, this can handle it and this can hold up to the abuse. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the wheel and the tire. So we're gonna go through a little bit of a finer mist setting here. Now what you're gonna start noticing is that this is gonna start kind of cleaning the tire on its own, which is super cool. And then we're gonna agitate everything. These are actually surprisingly clean. They're not super, super bad. Now the reason, Tyler, you wanna clean your tires every time you clean your wheels is because dressings will turn brown, dressings will fade, things like that will happen. What this does is also preps it for the next time you want to apply a dressing. And a clean tire makes all of the difference, and it's often really overlooked. But trust me, it makes the wheels pop more, makes the car look newer, better, shinier, you name it. So I see there we built up a good agitation and have that foam there. Then what I'll do next is we'll grab a Detail Factory boar's hair brush. So this is the orange boar's hair. I like to load my brush with product and then start knocking out more intricate areas. This is super soft, super safe, even on black wheels. We can go back through and we can get into all of the kind of cracks and crevices around each spoke, because this is where typically most dirt will accumulate, is between these areas. And then what I'll do from here is, instead of taking another brush and missing a lot of areas, I'm gonna go in with a towel, because I think I'm most efficient and fastest with a towel. So this is just a minor, AKA an edgeless 365, and I'm gonna fold this to something manageable and come through and start cleaning up each spoke. And I can just grab each spoke, go like that, come around, and the towel is typically safer than most brushes when it comes to delicate wheels. So this is the route that I like to go personally, but we'll go through, get all this cleaned off. And then for the barrel, since we have the car up in the air, this will be pretty easy to do. We can just go through and either reach in the barrels, if you want to reach in the barrel like that and go through, or what I'll typically do is go through the backside. So whatever works. In this case, I'm just going to kind of scrub the faces, get inside the barrels partially. We don't have a barrel brush just yet. We are working on it. So hopefully have one here in the very near future, or by the time this video airs. So as the cherry on top, last thing we're gonna do is more bead maker, right? You can put this on everything, literally everything, even the wheels. So tires doesn't make any sense to put it on there, so we're not gonna hit the tires, but I am going to spray this liberally on here, and the bead maker will actually help keep the wheels cleaner for longer. So go through, and we just start drawing that into the surface. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Are you catching on? Is this pretty easy?
Oh yeah.
And wipe out the barrels and everything else. These wheels are pretty big. I feel bad for you that you have to clean these every single time.
Yeah.
These look like a pain. Well, they are a pain as I'm doing them right now. But once they're clean, I bet they look absolutely killer. Now, before you go out on all your photo shoots to take photos and all that, do you always clean the car, or do you typically just send it as is sometimes?
As long as it's mostly clean, it's good. The camera doesn't pick up all the dirt, so
Yeah.
usually it's not too bad.
Nice.
And sometimes even with a little bit of dust on it.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna call that good, and then if I want to, I can do a quick ring around the tires. It looks like you already still have a dressing on there from the last time you applied one, and it still looks pretty good. We can touch it up if we need to, but I think that actually looks pretty dang clean. And we'll clean up the barrels as well, but you have the process, you know what to do. So I'm gonna have you try it on another wheel, and we're gonna knock out the other two, and then wrap this thing up. All right, Tyler, so we just finished up the Mustang, and what do you think, man?
I think it looks awesome.
Dude,
Super
it looks
crispy.
killer. It looks really, really good. And I don't know if it's just this fancy lighting or all the reflections, but I really do think that the bead maker was the cherry on top of this wash. And so it looks absolutely awesome. What was your favorite part? What did you learn the most from? I guess, what was the most interesting to you during the whole process?
Yeah, I think you're right. The bead maker really makes a difference. I think that really brings out the shine, gives it deeper color. I think Yeah, that's probably the best part.
Yeah, and everything else will kind of come with time the more you practice and learn it. And so, like the ultra black sponge, is that the only way to wash a car? Absolutely not. It's an easy way. It's a way that you can do inside your garage, you can do in your driveway, you can do it with minimal water, which is fantastic. But ultimately, you know, it depends on how in-depth that you want to go and how crazy you want to get with it. Like the wheel cleaning, for example, I mean, how many people are going to get a car up on a lift, right? Have all these different tools, sprayers. It's not that realistic, right? But we're showing you different options and different combinations. And then what you can do is you can take that information and apply it to something that you want to do yourself, right? And you can say, this is my regimen that I've made from the info that they gave me and the things that I just like doing. So it was a lot of fun using those trigger sprayers, right? I thought the mist, insane.
Super satisfying.
Very, very, very satisfying. But yeah, we're super stoked to have you on the channel and have your awesome car on here. And I think the rollers are gonna look freaking killer once we go outside and play a little bit. All right, but that is a wrap. So Tyler, if they want to check out your photography work or more photos of your Mustang or any information about your Mustang, where could they go?
On Instagram, it's stealth.stang.
Perfect. I like that. Descriptive. He's straight to the point, right? We like the details here. Thank you. So anyway, guys, we love having Wash Wednesdays and we love having really cool cars on here. So if there's any cool cars that you want to see, leave them down in the comments so we can try to get them on this show. So as always, if you guys like this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more Wash Wednesdays right here at The Rag Company.